the yoke. Amen. Hi, Anthony, Charlotte, and Eric. This is the point I want. So we are going to begin with Eric, since you are the closest to the camera. Your full name, a fun fact about you, your former role in the U.S. Army Band, and also share what has it been like working on this project. What has been your highlight and any feedback for improvements. And I predict there will be more albums. And will you be available for future albums and or concerts? And then I will politely ask that you play just a little bit of each of your instruments so Ramiz can capture it. Eric, what is your full name?
My full name is Eric Andrew Sabatino.
What is a fun fact about you?
Dealing with music, I like to play lots of different types of styles of music on harp, which actually helped me do this project with you because I have a lot of improvisation stuff that I'm doing as well to help the harp sound better for the project. So that's really come in handy.
Very cool. What's your former role in the U.S. Army Band?
Well, I did work for the Army one time, but I was not in the Army Band.
Oh, okay.
I was in the Air Force Band here in Washington, D.C. So I was the principal harpist there for 21 years. And I retired from that.
Okay, the Air Force Band is what you were in.
Yes.
Okay. Also, share what has it been like working on this project?
It's been a lot of fun for me, especially I love that you, when you first told me like you specifically wanted harp on the album, I was excited and also like, this is going to be a lot of work. But I was so happy to have that work, especially even coming out of the pandemic where everything, as a freelance musician, everything for me stopped.
Oh.
And so it's been a joy to, prepare, come and work, especially with Charlotte and Tony. It's been. I'm actually a little sad since this is going to be close to our final phase here.
There will be more albums.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And what has been the highlight for you
on this project?
Yeah.
I would say being able to understand your vision and the process that you talked about, from hearing the melodies, and then what I get, and then taking that and transforming it into even something better.
Right.
And that's been very satisfying to me, and especially to hear some of the playbacks that I've heard, because harp can be really hard to record. Mm-hmm. It's a percussive instrument, and sometimes to hear the warmth of the instrument as a normal person would, the microphones don't pick it up that way. And Tom is doing a fantastic job, and it's been one of the most satisfying, recordings of my playing that I've heard. It's exactly what I want to come across.
Very good. Good job, Tom. Any feedback for improvements?
I think now that you have a team that you can work with and trust, I think if you have another project coming up, I think you should definitely talk with Tony first, and maybe we can find arrangers that can work with you closer. I know you said budgets and things like that, but there's people we all know, and I would love to see you be able to work with some new people as well. That I know somebody, but you had already hired people, so.
Right.
But so that's the only thing I would say. That's about it, because the skills that you have for organization, listening, correcting, I went home and talked to my son about you
Oh.
because I said if I had a tenth of your drive and disciplines and skills of what you're doing, I'd probably be like, well, I wouldn't be able to be on your album because I'd be like super famous. But I mean that. I mean that.
Thank you. Means a lot. And will you be available for future albums and concerts?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. And now he's going to play a little bit of his harp.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the harpist song.
Oh.
Just a little bit of it.
I got to get my glasses on.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, you know, without the melody and stuff, it's a little hard to understand.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Then
but
you can just play something you're familiar with.
Sure.
Doesn't have to
I'll
be.
play a little bit of. Just a little.
Thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you very much. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi,
Please state your full name.
my name is Charlotte Lucy Roberts.
What is a fun fact about you?
Gosh, it's hard to say except I'm an animal lover and I've raised about 7 litters of puppies over my life.
Wow.
Everything from little teeny dachshunds to German shepherds. So that was one of my passions.
Cool. What's your former role in the U.S. Army Band?
Well, I was a cellist with the United States Army Strolling Strings, which was the string element of the band. And I also ended up being a group leader. I was in charge of the orchestra and did a lot of producing of string quartet events and orchestra concerts and collaborated on programming with the conductors and that sort of thing.
Very cool. Also share what it has been like working on this project.
Well, it's really, I feel like, expanded my horizons in a really wonderful way. And of course, it's been great working with you and Tony and Eric. I mean, it's just, especially as he was saying, coming out of the pandemic where we really weren't playing very much, just to sit down and play with these fine musicians and friends and to meet you and to be exposed to your creativity. It's been really great.
Thanks for sharing. And what has been your highlight so far?
Well, I would say, really, I just repeat what I said. I mean, meeting you, I love being exposed to something entirely different, but just making music with everybody. So that's just definitely the highlight for me.
Great. Any feedback for improvement?
I think I echo what Eric said. Now that, I mean, first of all, I'm in awe that you took this on from the ground up, you know, not without any experience. And so I'm really, really impressed with that. Very impressed. I don't think I would have had the fortitude to do that. But now that you have this experience, I agree with Eric that maybe you can start in a different place. The next one, where the arranging and everything happens more in a more unified way, with more of a single voice in this case. It just that would be my recommendation. I mean, I think we've gotten to a great place, but it was a long, long journey for you. So.
Thank you. And will you be available for future albums and concerts?
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, it's now time to play a little bit of your
Oh,
cello.
I'm all cold and not warmed up.
You know, that's how I felt.
I know.
My calluses.
Of course, the harpist song is just, you know.
Blame the guy who wrote the cello parts.
But let's see. I can play a little bit of Amazing Grace.
That's good.
I was going to play this. Hi.
What is your full name?
My full name is Anthony Wayne Nalker.
And what is a fun fact about you?
A fun fact about me would be that I have 2 degrees in trombone performance, yet I'm sitting at a piano. It's true.
We'll have to dig into that at another time. What's your former role in the U.S. Army Band?
I spent nearly 27 years in the Army Band before retiring about 5 years ago. And I was the pianist with the jazz band for the Army Blues. And for the last 10 years of my career was also I was the group leader of that group, sort of functioned as the administrative leader of the group, and played a lot of times at the Vice President's house, State Department, White House, did a few tours to Iraq and Afghanistan, volunteered on USO tours, worked with student musicians, doing educational workshops, things like that. So that was, it was kind of a great career. Felt very fortunate to play piano and serve my country at the same time.
Thank you for your service. Also, can you share what it has been like working on this project?
Well, this has been a really wonderful journey. I remember in July, Afia, when you called me, I was working out of town, back in my hometown in West Virginia, and you left a message saying that you'd gotten my name from Gloria Dawson at Bias Studios, where I've recorded a lot over the last 25, 30 years, and told me a little bit about the project. And I thought, well, this sounds different. I've never done anything like this before, but it sounds really fascinating, and didn't really know what all would be involved when you first started, when you mentioned it. But as we had more discussions, and we got together, and you sent me the music and the transcriptions, and I think it's all started to come into focus probably in September, October, and we started lining up the other musicians, and really, really thankful that both Eric and Charlotte are on this project, because a project like this, over this long amount of time, with this many songs, this many rehearsals and recording sessions, with substandard musicians would be painful. And these guys are gals, whatever, euphemism for musicians. Charlotte and Eric have been phenomenal and totally professional, and bring their own ideas and creativity to the project. And not to mention, of course, Tom here at the studio. It's a wonderful studio to work in, and Tom has been, just dynamite, as Eric mentioned, with getting things to sound as good as they can sound, and everything's always set up, ready to go. Super supportive of everybody. So. Thanks to, it's been a real team effort to make this project work.
What has been your highlight?
Let's see, the highlight for me, I think, would be, well, one, getting to know you, Afia, and having, getting a window into your journey. My son is studying music therapy, and it's really interesting to see how your music has been therapeutic for you, and to see the power of music. I mean, I think we all, as musicians, know that we touch people in different ways with music, and to kind of see it firsthand, and to see how the impact has been for you, and I think for all of us to have been part of this. I think that's been tremendous.
Any feedback for improvements?
Well, I think, I'll just piggyback on what Eric and Charlotte mentioned about, I understand why the project unfolded the way it did, but I think for a future project, or projects, hopefully, having and I'm not saying I would do it, but a singular arranger that could make all the parts, coalesce and mesh in a way that, rather than, we've done it, we've made it work, as I think Eric and Charlotte both said, but having one vision at the beginning of the project, musical vision with arrangements would be helpful. But as I said, as they've said, it's really turned out great, and looking forward to future collaborations.
Thank you. And will you be available for future albums and concerts?
I would be happy to be on future albums and concerts with you, Afia. It's been a wonderful experience.
Thank you. It's now time to play a bit of your instrument.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Tom.
Hello,
Please state your full name.
my name is Thomas Edward Tyra Jr.
What is a fun fact about you?
A fun fact about me is that I got started playing the tuba, and that most people that end up where I'm sitting play, guitar maybe or drums, but I started on the humble tuba and made my way here.
Sure. What is your current role at Bayer Studios, and where are you at in life?
Well, currently I am a sound engineer here at Baia Studios, and for this project I will be recording and mixing all 24 songs, so I'm very excited to do that.
Thank you. Can you share what it has been like working on this project?
Absolutely. So I think it is just a great experience to work with so many like-minded people and so many people who are really interested in completing the project and working together as a group. I think it's great to see both rehearsal and recordings as well. It's not something I usually get to see, but to see the musicians and all the thought that goes into the actual final performance is just amazing to see.
Thank you. What has been your highlight?
I think it has been how much time I've been able to spend with all of you. I think it's been great to one, to be a witness from over here, but also just to talk and see all the thought process that goes in. Because I'm a musician myself, but it's great to see all the commitment and effort that you guys are putting in.
Thank you. Any feedback for improvements?
Well, I think you have some of the best recording musicians here, so that in terms of that, everything will be very well done. I think to their point earlier, I think it's true that the having maybe one arranger will be an easier process for you.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is it will mean that they can communicate with you directly and assemble everybody kind of in one fell swoop instead of having to space it out over multiple people.
Got it. Thank you for sharing. Will you be available for future projects?
Of course.
And you are invited to our concerts.
Thank
Future
you.
concerts.
Thank you.
What shall I say of you, Jesus? What shall I proclaim?